You are entering the championship rounds. The baddest woman on the planet may no longer be Ronda Rousey, and as Bellator's plan of action to be just the opposite of the UFC, this is 5 Round MMA. Hello there, my name is Alex Ramirez, alongside me my co-hosts Guillermo Cita and Albert Cita. This is 5 Round MMA, brought to you by our fine line of sponsors with Rocking Green eco-friendly cleaning products, 5 Rounds clothing line, and of course the RMA Foundation Redemption Martial Arts. Rise up against bullying. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Good, but I think you might have had a little TKO right there.
TKO?
Was it work too?
What do you mean?
Right before the show started, it seems like you did a little
pause before. Don't worry. Post-production, hopefully handle it, and you guys don't know what Guillermo's talking about at all. Today's show, we got UFC Berlin, the continued rise of Joanna Jedrzejczyk, and of course, we're going to talk a little bit Bellator 138, the freak show that was Kimbo Slice versus Shamrock. But before, let's get started now with round 1. Gentlemen, UFC Berlin main event. Joanna Jedrzejczyk dominates Jessica Penne to the three-round TKO. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, before we start, I just want to see how Albert pronounces Joanna's name.
Okay. Oh, you really want to do that? I will pronounce it Jedrzejczyk.
So, reaction and thoughts on Joanna's performance. We'll just go with Joanna.
He doesn't mess up Ronda Rousey's name.
Oh, no. Alliteration is Albert's best friend. So, thoughts and reaction to Joanna's performance.
Damn. She beat her up.
Yeah.
It's funny because I saw her first fight ever, which I thought was a very competitive fight. I thought it was back and forth, and I did see a lot of potential, but no way could you tell me she was gonna be this dominant when she became champion. I mean, even with the last win she had to win the championship, I was like, okay, maybe it could be just that her opponent just kind of felt too much pressure or whatever, because it seemed more like she didn't perform more than Joanna, I think, was the stronger person. But after this performance, wow, I mean, she's a dominating.
I think that goes back to her because Joanna Jedrzejczyk's debut was against Claudia Gadelha. I think that's a testament to Claudia's skill set that she was able to survive all 5 rounds against Joanna. But Guillermo asked you,
and some people thought she won.
Yeah, people are calling Joanna standard probably the best in the women's division and quite possibly the best even amongst the men. Can she be handled in the strawweight division?
It looks like no. I mean, like, who else could compete with her at the moment, especially stand-up? What's crazy is some of those the beating she gave. What was her name?
Jessica Penne or Carlos Esparza before that too.
Wanderley actually posted a picture of Jessica. Oh man, that was like one of the worst cuts ever. Right, I mean, they go so deep in her, like on the top on the bridge of her nose. It was ridiculous. I mean, like, it's just crazy how much she dominated one. I think she can. There's no one right now in the strawweight division that you could say, like you could see. Oh well, she might have a chance against Joanna. I really don't see anyone.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch over to Jessica Penne now, who showed ton of heart, ton of grit for not even going. It was a TKO win, but she was up against the fence, and the referee's like, "No, you're not gonna take any more punishment." She would have kept going.
Her nose was like destroyed.
Yeah, but it wasn't like she was on the ground, balling up or like had her hands up. She was still swinging for the fences, and the referee's like, "No, I'm protecting you. This fight's over." You always say that fights, the champion makes a division, but don't the challenger and the fights they put on make how bad they want this belt and how prestigious it is, right? Well, so they both showed that they want this fight, this belt, the champion means so much to them, and they left it all in the cage, right?
Well, every story or every division always needs that dominant champion and that underdog story, and then that's what really turns people into watching them. I mean, I think that in the strawweight we have the dominant champion, like you said. Now everybody's on notice in the strawweight division. Now is there this underdog that everybody's gonna go around or start rooting for to take down the dominant champion? I mean, you see Anderson Silva, you see Jose Aldo with Conor McGregor. Yeah. Conor McGregor's the underdog, and everybody seems he's gaining a lot of momentum that way. So I think the strawweight is now in everybody's focus, and that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Yeah. Also, the fight was awarded Fight of the Night bonus, a winner. People are saying, like, what did Jessica Penne do to win Fight of the Night? Well, I mean, if you go 3 rounds with Joanna J and not get knocked out completely, I think you deserve any type of bonus. But What does it do for like the Paige Van Zants of the division and like the the UFC's plans to
kind of
nurture
keep her as far away from Joanna as possible?
She develops.
There's still some other ones. I mean, I would rather see the Claudia rematch before I see another new opponent, just because it was a split decision, and now that we know how good she is, maybe Claudia is just up there, because I mean she was like 12-0 when she fought Joanna, so she had the record to prove it, and I think I'd rather see that rematch first before I see any other matches. Also, too, I don't think people talk about this enough, but the weigh-ins and the trash talking between Penne and Joanna was so good. Weeks leading up to the fight, Joanna kept eating pasta. Say, I'm eating Penne pasta for breakfast. I'm eating for lunch, Jessica. And then when Jessica Penne responded that she looked like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. So if you saw the weigh-in, Joanna pulled out a pasta necklace she made in elementary school, handed it to Jessica, and Jessica gave her a Lord of the Rings ring. So that was awesome, intense, and obviously the heat carried over to the fight, which delivered one of the best fights of the year. So congratulations to Joanna and Jessica Penne, man. I think she earned a lot more fans just for sticking in there and grinding it out, man. She's tougher than like 90% of the dudes out there. Round 2, Bellator 138 took place the day previous, Friday night, in St. Louis, which was main evented by Kimbo Slice, who was 41 years old, going up against Ken Shamrock, who was 51 years old. And before we get started on the fight, did you guys see Shamrock's weird spray tan that had the weigh-ins, and they actually wore it during the fight too? He looked like a weird, like those bodybuilders with like all brown in some spots. You look good for 51 years old.
Oh yeah, I'm not kidding. I would gladly trade bodies with him, minus the weird spray tan. But Guillermo Cita, was this just a freak show?
I think it was just to attract a lot of people. Ken Shamrock is known not only through the fighting world, but also through the pro wrestling world. Yeah. Kimbo Slice is known not only as a YouTube sensation, but also as a Ultimate Fighter. So you had those ingredients of people, a spectrum of people, not just one, like just those hardcore MMA. I had my cousin who doesn't really watch MMA making such a big deal about this fight. Kimbo Slice is fighting, or it's Ken Shamrock, the most dangerous man. Yeah. So you had that spectrum, and I think that's what they were going for. Yeah. And it's funny because if you look at the card, the guys they want to push are the ones that got a lot of in our opinions, a lot of not known name people, but to showcase them. Yeah. So if people are
a great point. Yeah,
if people are tuning in to see Kimbo Slice and Ken Shamrock, they're also getting a little piece of
Bobby Lashley,
Michael Chandler,
Pitbull,
Fabricio,
and Daniel Strauss.
You kind of mix that in. Albert always complained about the UFC not doing this, about trying to promote these guys, up and coming guys. Especially their star lineups. This is the stars for Bellator. They put them on the card, even though nobody talked about that Michael Chandler was going to be on the card. Yeah. Nobody talked about that Daniel Strauss was going to be on the card. Everybody talked about Kimbo Slice and Ken Shamrock, and it got everybody excited. Everybody tuned in. It was free on Spike TV. And look, now later on in later rounds, we'll talk about who was the star of Bellator.
But I don't know. It just disappoints me. I didn't like the way. I never liked the beginning that they were promoting.
Was it a freak show?
Just because how I mean, you had a stacked card. If you really look at you had Justin Lawrence in there, Michael Chandler, Daniel Strauss.
But that's my point. People will not tune in once they see those names.
It's just irritating to me because the talent's there, but their focus is on this freak show.
You're getting an introduction,
I don't know, man. It just left a bad taste in my mouth. Even the way it finished, it just like cemented that I didn't like the way this was gonna go, and it turned out that way. Because I mean, no disrespect to Ken Shamrock thing, but that didn't look like a work, bro. I mean,
if there was a guy who knows about planned finishes, it would be Ken Shamrock. He spent how many years in professional wrestling? He's like, all right, Kimbo, we're going to go home now.
Yeah, that's why it almost felt that way, because he even loosened up on that grip, and then out of nowhere, he just lost all strength and he was super tired. I mean, I guess it could be possible, it could be true, but I don't know. And then even the shots Kimbo Slice was giving, I don't think they were that hard.
But Shamrock was 51 years old and has been in a ton of battles. He did fall on his butt pretty hard. I mean, if he was going to fall, it was like a straight wrestling fall where he kind of fell back, took his head down and everything. But the thing was this weird kind of like it was the 245-pound catch weight bout.
Yeah, even that
Shamrock came in at 204 pounds. He's under the light heavyweight limit. Kimbo came in at 230 pounds. It was just weird dynamic of like just show up and we'll put gloves on you and you guys just fight. I guess. I mean, it was just so weird. I thought. And like you said, Guillermo, like it did highlight the Bobby Lashley's and the Daniel Strausses and the Michael Chandlers. But if their opponents were, I didn't even know who any of the opponents were. To tell you the truth. I mean, so like,
but you wanted to see dominant performance because then these guys,
the people that were supposed to win, I think, won.
Yeah,
other than Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
What I think Scott Coker was waiting for is like these exciting finishes. So the normal fans can be excited.
Just highlights, right? He wanted a bunch of highlight. He wanted a highlight reel, which he got.
Who is Michael Chandler? Who is Bobby Lashley? Oh, Bobby Lashley's actually pretty good. That's what I think the reactions he was looking for.
It worked because all the fights on the main card ended in either submission or KO.
That's true.
So maybe Scott, we're calling him this mad genius type of guy where he's just like, you know what? It's gonna work, and then I think now, I mean, do they keep on Kimbo Slice? Is he gonna be a threat in the heavyweight division, or what?
Give him Seth Perenceski or whatever again.
Seth Petruzzelli. I think he tried storming the cage on Friday night, but they blocked him from the entrance. But I mean, they're signing an influx of Russian heavyweight fighters. So I don't think you want to put them in. Is Kimbo just like
put him in? I want to see Kimbo get destroyed.
I mean, like I guess
you can. You gotta build. You still gotta
build what? Build a 41-year-old.
No, build people tuning in to introduce them to these up and coming rising stars. I mean. Look at all the good Pride guys. To me, Bellator is starting to resemble a lot of Pride.
True. We will talk about that later on. But Kimbo KO'd Shamrock. That's it. Time for round number 3. One of the highlights from Bellator 138 was the return of Michael Chandler to his winning ways, but his opponent wasn't really Derek Campos wasn't as accomplished as some of his former opponents. Chandler did say after that he wants to prove that he is one of the best lightweights in the world or can get back to the top of the mountain. Guillermo, I ask you, is that even possible for Michael Chandler at this point?
No, and I'll tell you why. Unless they get fresh new faces in Bellator in that division, you had one of the best lightweights in the whole planet, Eddie Alvarez, and they went to war and he left. So who is going to challenge Michael Chandler at this point? So I think if they start getting fresh faces or people that can actually push Michael Chandler to the limit like Eddie Alvarez did, we're gonna say the same old story, broken record like we did before even all the trouble with Eddie Alvarez. Michael Chandler, he's dominant in Bellator. He's the champion at Bellator, even though he's not the champion right now. But can he compete in the UFC? That's the question everybody's always going to ask Michael Chandler.
Albert?
The run that Michael Chandler originally had, I think was very impressive. I think it was a special thing. I think it was a unique thing. I think it really did help out Bellator. But there comes in times where I think like those individuals have to take a step back and then make their own run again. And I don't like he already had his shot to try to stay on top of the mountain, I think. And even though some of them may be a little bit controversial and whatever, he had his chance, just like Frank Yeager had his chance. And I think you should take the Frank Yeager route. You have to fight. You have to fight three. Not drop weight class, but at least fight three other guys who are not necessarily former champions to say, but just fight 3 guys, and then if you keep a roll right there, then you can go back to the top of the mountain. And I think this helps out Bellator because you let their champion actually fight some new faces, new up and coming guys.
The thing about Michael Chandler, if you look at it, only people aren't going to talk if he goes on a big undefeated streak. If he goes 5 years undefeated in Bellator, people will then say, "Well, I want to see him in the UFC."
We kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
If you're on the outside of the UFC and you want to make noise, you have to go on this like long run. It's kind of back. I'm going to hop onto the NBA and the D League, right? When they sign when a team signs a player from the D League. Oh, he was averaging 20 points. I think it was the Lakers signed somebody last year. Oh, you're averaging 20 points in the D League, top leading scorer. How do you feel about that? He's like, well, if I want to get back to the NBA, I should be averaging 20 points in the D League.
Yeah, correct.
So Michael Chandler has to dominate in the Bellator if he wants to even a conversation about being in the top 10 in the UFC light heavyweight division, right?
Yeah, I mean Albert had a top 10 lightweights in the planet at one point.
Well, I think he would.
I think when he was going in that run, he was legit up there in the top 5 lightweights.
But what did he do to get to that list? That's my point.
But that's a good point. But that's what I said earlier. I don't want to see him in the title picture. I really want to see him go to a nice, good 3-fight win streak before we go back at it. I think he has one more streak in him. To tell you the truth, I mean he's still in incredible shape. He looked wonderful.
I don't even think he's that old.
Well, no, but it's almost like the Nogueira thing. Where when you go to those battles, man, I mean, you seem older than you really are.
Yeah, I mean, he's only 29 years old, but this guy, when he goes out, he leaves it out there.
He looks like he's a 36-year-old veteran.
But my point is, if he's dominant, he shouldn't be going to these wars if he's dominant.
Yeah. Well, but keep in mind, these wars went with a dominant opponent.
Eddie Alvarez and Will Brooks, who's turning out to be pretty good himself. But then again, like you said, it is the lack of lightweights. I mean, Bellator signing a bunch of light heavyweights, and they're signing middleweights and heavyweights.
They just signed, I think, Melvin Gillard, right?
Yeah, but come on.
But I know, I mean, I'm
saying, I know, but I mean, like, but you got so like basically, it is kind of a two-man race between Will Brooks and Michael Chandler, but you don't want to see that again because obviously, if you're Will Brooks, why would I want to face Michael? I've been the guy twice already.
And what happened to the tournament? Let's bring the tournament back. That's another good way to do it.
This was like a one night.
I heard they were gonna scrap that.
No, they're gonna do like a one night tournament. I think T Ortiz is supposed to beat it or something like that.
Not one night tournament. I like the tournament model. The guys get consecutive wins.
Yeah,
and then that establishes. I mean, if Michael Chandler entered the tournament again, won 3 straight, no way you can deny him the title, and he has a good run.
Yeah, and
they sound like Junior Dos Santos there.
And the guys kind of remain active, so they know they got a fight coming up after a while, as opposed to waiting and then kind of sitting around.
I prefer it that way. I don't know why they changed that.
Yeah, but
I'm okay with having these one night. Let's just put a card together. But I still like the tournament mode.
Yeah. Do you think real quick before is Bellator kind of protecting Michael Chandler a little bit, like giving them kind of guys?
Well, this card showed me nothing but protection. That's what I like to say. I think
repackage, retool.
Yeah. I think Scott Cooker just wanted the for sure wins with the for sure results.
Yeah.
I mean, you always talk about WWE. I mean, or wrestling in general. You always want to have a squash match.
It's true.
No disrespect to Derek Campos, but I mean, like,
and nothing crazy, but just to let you know, don't be surprised if you see Bobby Lashley, Kimbo Slice in the next card.
Genius.
Please visit FiveRoundMMA.com on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. FiveRoundMMA.com.
Welcome back. Thank you for sticking around. Time for round number 4, the championship rounds. With Bellator 138, under the Scott Coker regime, you kind of see more and more, I guess, of his personality or what he's trying to do, or maybe the whole promotion side of it. They had a huge, giant screen, the screen part in the middle, that runway directed to the cage, and then it was in St. Louis, so they had the St. Louis Arc, the little miniature of it, the fighters walked right through it. Is this their plan to be as complete opposite of the UFC as possible? Because in UFC, I mean, they spare like you can tell they spend no money at all on stage productions. The guys coming to the ramp and like just it's on the octagon and that's it, right? Obviously, it sells more seats that way too. But I mean, what's their plan, Gun? Can you tell from the plan now? We're in the middle of we haven't seen a good chunk of Scott Coker's run now. So what can you detect he's going for?
What I see is nothing different from any other sport, any other entertainment. I mean, look at it. You go to like Angel Stadium. They have a firework night. They have Star Wars night. I mean, like it's nothing different.
Kimbo / night.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we're so used to the UFC and them no pyros and things like that. I mean, you go to Pride. Pyros were their thing.
Yeah.
You go to WWE, pyro was their thing. I mean, and it's not just combat sports or even or pro wrestling. You look at the NBA. You have fan appreciation night. They're throwing lottery tickets to the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, they always come up with these promos, so it's nothing different or out of the cage. They're just trying to entertain the people there while the fights are getting ready to take place. That's how I see it.
But do you think this is a little bit of I don't want to say shenanigans, but do you think that even like in boxing, you don't see that in boxing. You don't see the big old stage productions, do you guys? I mean, at all. I mean,
but how much would people tune in more? Think about it. At the Super Bowl, people tune in to the halftime show.
Yeah.
It's just to keep you in interest of what's going on in that game. I mean, even you change the channel, you have all these Super Bowl, halftime shows at other channels. You have the puppy Super Bowl or stuff like that. It's to keep you entertained because there's going to be these breaks. And I think Scott Coker is taking this opportunity. There's a break. People are coming in. Let's start getting them pumped up, getting ready for this fight that's going to take place. That's how I see it.
Is it that the fighting culture, Albert doesn't really like that? I mean, when Floyd Mayweather has a big entourage and like a celebrity come ahead of him, people say, oh, look at this guy's not professional. And then like it's supposed to be a serious business. But like Guillermo said, maybe we should start entertaining them. Is there like a line where you should like not have props on the stage?
I'll tell you the major difference here before I get into that kind of stuff is UFC is promoting UFC. There's no investment in the fighter. While in Bellator, they're investing in their fighters just like in wrestling. you're investing in that individual. And I get kind of upset when people say stuff like, "Oh, I take it more." It's more like something. It's more legit if they don't have an entrance. I don't know if you ever been to an NBA game when they announce. I mean, you've seen the Clippers.
Yeah.
When they announce the
so
players,
amazing when
they try their hardest to really pump up the fans, pump up the individual players, and that's the key thing. Individuals. To me, that shows me that Scott Coker is putting investment in these individual fighters. While UFC is packaging, guess what? UFC. Yeah. They don't care about Lyoto Machida coming out to a dragon scale or something like that. They want every UFC.
And you might get input from the fighters to his point.
But they're promoting the UFC while right here they're investing in actual individuals.
Well, even to further your point about not showcasing the fighters with this whole uniform policy, right? Mm-hmm. They're all kind of the same now, right?
And I think uniform policy is fine inside the cage, but walking to the cage, why not? They do shirt tosses at sporting events. I mean, in Albert Pujols shirt, Blake Griffin shirt, things like that.
And that shows you where the mindset of each company. Like fighters complain all the time in UFC, saying like, I don't think you really care about me. Yeah, they care about you, but they care more about the UFC in general.
Well, they care about making money for the UFC.
Yeah, well, it's not the individual pack. That's why, like, WWE, say what you want, but they're investing in this one character, and they're really trying to showcase them. And that's what I got out of it.
We're going to see personalities. We're going to see people fall in love with the characters or fighters in Bellator compared to the UFC. Right now, what we complain about is lack of character. John Bone Jones.
True. Yeah, true.
Yeah, the best thing I can think of, and it's kind of ridiculous, is like Street Fighter and Bloodsport. Everybody has their guy. You get me? That's my guy. They relate to him. They cheer him, and just having their merchandise and stuff like that kind of pumps up the whole thing. And I think that's part of it. I mean, if my guy is Bobby Lashley, I want to see him come out, throw some fire in there, and then give a good chant, whatever, win or loss. And that takes you back to the Pride Days, though, because in Pride Days, they don't care about wins or losses. It's about performance. Yeah, if they give the crowd a good show, then that's what matters.
All around, I think I remember, didn't Alistair Overeem carry around like a big old sledgehammer with them?
And I loved it.
Because he was the devil.
I loved it.
He was a big Alistair Overeem fan.
Yeah, and guess what? Guess when I stopped liking Overeem. Guess what? When he stopped bringing the hammer out.
So I guess with Bellator, is it this is us. We're not going to stray away from it. If they're going to do it. Do it right.
Yeah,
don't be shy about it.
If they're gonna go in, go 100% in.
More fire, more pyro, more props.
That's like I'm propped about before about the tournament. They were like, "No, we're gun whole about the tournament. Yeah. Let's do the tournament." And I was all for it.
Yeah, but I guess without the tournament now, Scott Coker has more freedom to make these kind
of but once if you're gonna go
crazy matchups, well, that's under the old regime. Now under Scott regime, he even changed the gloves too, went back to the red and blue, which is I guess necessary. I don't know if it's necessary or not, but yeah, with also even he's not being shy about snatching free agents.
Hey, by the way, he took a picture with Nick Diaz, so take that.
What?
I think somebody's gonna pay him. So.
And you have Phil Davis coming up, so we'll see how they package Phil Davis, because what was his problem in the UFC? He was not he couldn't be sold as a main eventer or as number one contender after beating Machida, one of the best in the planet at the time. So I want to see how they're gonna sell Phil Davis, because if they can make him into a megastar, everybody's gonna be like, "Look, UFC, what you did, you let go of this freaking." Yeah.
You convinced me. You know what? I'll come in. I was like, "No, this is dumb." But you guys already convinced me. I want to see Phil Davis come to the ramp and with a promenade.
Show the real Mr. Wonderful,
man. Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah. He's gonna come out with like the pink boa, whatever. It's gonna be awesome. I hope.
We shall see the debut of Phil Davis in Bellator soon. Time for round number 5, the final round. Give me all you got, guys. We're gonna go back to Joanna Jedrzejczyk's performance at UFC Berlin. The star power. She has basically over 2 fights now. She's becoming at least a Twitter sensation.
No lie, I'm gonna struggle in this 5th round because I feel like Joanna beat me down that first round, and I try my hardest to make it to this 5th round.
I mean, she blew up Twitter and Instagram with the last performance over Carla Esparza, and like Guillermo said, I mean, she blew up Twitter this one. Wanderlei Silva, I think even Ronda Rousey said, "Wow, what a performance!"
Yeah, I saw that.
With the baddest woman, not baddest woman, but she's pretty tough.
And I think if you go back to our podcast on her first championship fight, I think we said it like she saved that card.
Yeah,
I had no interest in that card really. I was like, I'm gonna check it out, but I didn't even have interest. And then that week came where she just started talking smack. She started hyping it up. The weigh-in, she got right in her face. I mean, I was like, oh, I'm in. Let's see this fight. And again, that goes back to character stuff like that. And then the question is she promotable? Is she like the big star? That stuff makes big stars. Yeah. And then she has the performance to back it up. Yeah.
So basically, we have just two women's divisions: the strawweight division and the bantamweight division. And I'm thinking now, after the short time, I'm already liking the strawweight division better than the bantamweight division. That's true. The fighters there got a little more personality. I get this vibe of like with the strawweights. I get them the more like self promotion, and with the bantamweights, maybe because Ronda Rousey is so dominant, it's like the vibe she sets. It's just serious face. They're all like angry. It's like Misha Tate always like kind of angry. Jessica Ai's angry. Sarah Kaufman's always angry.
I think also goes back to like human nature, where like we prefer to see blood.
Yeah.
You know, Ronda Rousey's dominant, but we see arm bars. I mean, if she would literally break the arms all the time, I think that'd be a little bit more impressive. But Joanna's going in there and she's like putting it on these. I mean, she's leaving him at a bloody mess, and I think that people enjoy that a lot more. They find that more exciting than just a simple submission.
Yeah. So, Guillermo, actually, is it more fun to watch Ronda Rousey beat somebody in under a minute with a judo flip and armbar, or is it more entertaining, as messed up as it sounds, to watch Joanna Jedrzejczyk beat up on an opponent for 3 rounds and have them, just
a bloody mess,
bloody mess, so and the face all swollen up?
I was kind of quiet, just listening to you guys.
Yeah.
Here's my point. We're 2 fights in. Come on, guys. Relax. She was on Fight Pass.
Well, 3
Relax.
Fights. Okay.
But, I mean, championship.
Well, it's because it was overseas.
She was in Fight Pass. Relax. Who can we say that's exactly the same? Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse gets disrespected left and right until Joanna can headline a pay-per-view. Yeah, can we even talk about being in the same league as Ronda Rousey?
Mighty Mouse leaving his opponents in a bloody mess. I don't know
the way she's doing it, man.
Do you remember your boy Joseph Benavidez?
Yeah, he was in a bloody mess. He knocked him out. Okay. He knocked him out, but it wasn't a bloody mess.
Okay, it wasn't a bloody mess, but we saw a knockout. We saw a TKO with Joanna. And my point is that we need to relax. We need to relax. You guys are already comparing her to Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey has been in movies in Entourage. She's been in movies here left and right.
She's also been there longer.
Headlining UFC. But that's my point. She's been there longer. So you guys need to relax. Get off the Joanna bandwagon a little bit. I'm not saying that she's not good, because she is good. But until I see her main event of pay-per-view, can we actually compare her to Ronda Rousey?
Well, I think
my problem is I love Joanna. The thing is, we shouldn't be comparing her to Ronda Rousey just yet.
Not outside, the inside.
Outside, outside. I feel she hasn't been established enough to be considered outside as far as inside the octagon.
But inside the octagon, we've only seen 3 fights.
And I bring it up again, like in Gladiator, what do they want? What do the Romans want to see? Blood.
Yeah,
we want to see blood, and she shows you blood. And I think that's again, if you compare it straight up to her last opponent in Ronda Rousey's last fight, I'm not gonna lie to you. I bet you 90% of people would rather see the Joanne fight.
That's not true, because Ronda Rousey's selling out pay-per-views. Joanna's on Fight Pass.
Would I rather purchase a Ronda Rousey magazine or a Joanna? Yes, I would like to purchase a Ronda Rousey magazine over
you have a women champion that's selling out pay-per-views, selling out venues, and then you have Joanna. Okay, whatever. Well, what she did this last fight. What she did this last fight was impressive, but can she do that for the last?
I don't like when you guys tweak the numbers. She ain't selling out nothing. Yeah. Don't tweak it out.
If you were to ask me, I had like 2. Let's see, UFC has 2 pay-per-views back-to-back months. One is Ronda Rousey, and the next month is Joanna Jedrzejczyk. I'm saying, okay, you know what? I think I might hold on the Ronda Rousey one, because I know that's going to be over kind of quickly. But I'm going to save up and buy the Joanna one, because it's going to be a pretty good beatdown. I might want to see. That's my opinion. I think.
But the thing is that we've only seen 3 fights out of her. Yeah. How do you know for sure it's going to be a beatdown?
Even with that, that's what you're trying to say though. If you come and present to me,
look, you're making it seem like she's so dominant in the strawweight division after 3 fights.
But she was.
She is.
And I saw after 3 fights.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey has been dominant over years.
The last time I saw Ronda Rousey show me that type of performance against me,
you guys are getting bored because it's an expectation that no one will last over a minute with Ronda Rousey.
That's the argument Alex is making.
You guys just said that.
Who wants to see that?
Joanna just had a split decision. Her first fight ever, she had a split decision.
But it was a war.
It was a war, but it's a split decision.
People love wars.
That is not dominant. That is unpredictable. You guys did not see the outcome coming. That's why you guys are so interested in Joanna. For Ronda Rousey, you guys expect her to win in 1 minute. You guys expect her to beat these girls.
See, you expect
the trash talk. You guys expect the trash talk because that's the only way you guys will even be interested, because you know Ronda Rousey's going to win.
And this is exactly why Conor McGregor's going to sell out that event.
That's just a testament also to the I think the strawweight division as opposed to the bantamweight division. I think strawweight division is full of stars. I think you got a bunch of women.
The Karate Hottie hasn't even made her debut.
Exactly. I'm ready pumped to see her fight already. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, I think Joanna's here to stay. If not, then I think no matter what, every title fight's going to be a war, because it's division. They're scrappy. they're all just gonna go in it, and it's not as
I totally agree with that. Just don't give her the crown. Not yet.
That is it for today. I like that. It was a little heated that segment right there. I like it. It was round 5. You guys gave me all.
I gave it everything.
Until then, until next week.
I didn't turtle up.
Until then, until next week, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic. And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. And if you're hearing us on ArenaSportsNet.com, please check out the other great shows: Snowman in the Morning, The Flex Zone, Pod is War. A big thank you to Rocking Green Eco-Friendly Cleaning Products, 5 Rounds Clothing Line, and of course, the Redemption Martial Arts RMA Foundation. Rise up against bullying. Albert, what do you got?
I just want to thank everybody for listening.
Oh yeah, the cream of the crop.
To get grimy.